we're going to read Goodnight, Goon. Are you excited? Oh, me too. It's my favorite, I think. Goodnight, Goon, a petrifying parody. In the cold grey tomb, there was a gravestone, and a black lagoon, and a picture of Martians taking over the moon. And there were 3 little mummies rubbing their tummies, and 2 hairy claws, and a set of jaws, and a loud screech at bat, and a black hat.
What's that big purple thing?
That is a set of jaws. Those are the 2 hairy claws, the loud screechy bat, and the black hat.
Is that the part of the monster?
Yes. And the skull and the shoe, and the pot full of goo, and the hairy old werewolf who was hollering, boo! Good night, Tomb. Look at you, looks like Eddie Munster, doesn't he? Good night, Goon. Good night, Martians taking over the moon. Good night, Bones and the Black Lagoon. Good night, Mummies. Good night, Tummies. Good night, Claws. And good night, Jaws. Good night, moans, and good night, groans. He's like, ugh, why is this ridiculous goon riding on me? I'm a ghost and I do not have time for this.
What's the other one saying?
He's like, oh, so rude. I think. I mean, I don't know or anything. And the monster, the set of jaws, is just like, ooh, that looks awkward. Good night, Screechy Bat! What does the bat turn into? What does the bat turn into, Ethan?
I don't know.
What does the bat turn into? Dracula. A the vampire. Blood. Not funny tonight? No, it's not funny tonight. Oh, well then. Going to have to say the joke different next time. And good night, hat. Who does the hat belong to? Who does the hat belong to?
A witch.
Yes, very good. Good night, skull. What does the skull belong to?
A skull.
A skeleton, like Skull Boy. And good night, shoe. Who do you think the shoe belongs to? Clearly Herman Munster. Good night, creature. Who's the creature?
The big guy.
Yeah, who is he?
I don't know.
I think he looks like Herman Munster. But he's clearly Frankenstein, who's a parody of the other. Good night, goo! Yummy, yummy! He's drinking it all up because he has a very different diet system and it's very odd. So odd. And good night to the old werewolf hollering, boo! they're all happy and they're leaving because it's bedtime for everybody. We have a brain in the Good night, you. Get under there. His goon has to go under his bed. I don't know why.
Because he sleeps over there?
Yes, I guess that makes sense. Good night, monsters. Everywhere. He's all happy in his little blue bed. Ta-da! Well, what book shall we read next?
The one on the top of the other books?
That's not fair. You don't even know what the other books are. We have A Perfectly Messed Up Story. The one where like all the jam and the crayons and the markers get in his book when he's trying to tell his story.
Yes,
And then we have Pretend, with the boy and his dad pretending. And then we have The Boy Who Cried Ninja, which I kind of forget what happened.
I want to read the messed up book.
All right. A Perfectly Messed Up Story by Patrick McDonald. This book belongs to me. This is Louie's story. Once upon a time, little Louie went skipping merrily along. Tra-la-la-la-la, he sang. It's an awful singing voice, but it's very nice that he likes to sing. For in his heart, Louie knew everything was just, "Hey! Hold on! What's that? What is that? What is that? Jam?" Sniff, sniff. Lick, lick. A jelly stain? How did that get there? This isn't right. Who would eat a jelly sandwich while reading my book? Plop. What just plopped on his face?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Jelly and peanut butter? Ugh, the chunky kind. Hey, hey, hey! Somebody's fingerprints are all over this. Well, lucky if it was criminal really, or criminal investigator. Oh no. What next? Orange juice. Ah, my story is getting all messed up. We need to show some respect here. Books are important. They teach us stuff and they inspire us. Now can I please get on with my story? Thank you. Okay. From the top. Once upon a time, little Louie went skipping merrily along. Tra-la-la-la-la. You have got to be kidding. This is awful. Quick, get a paper towel. What is all over his book?
Markers.
Rub, rub, rub. Careful, careful. Ah! This is the worst thing ever. What am I going to do? Once upon a time. Stop! Forget it. My story is ruined. It's all over. I'm just in a messy old book that will end up in some garbage sale. A book no one will ever want, read, or love. I give up. Go on without me. This is Louie's story. Who cares? upon a time, little Louis went skipping merrily along. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, he sang. Oh, life was so much simpler back then. For in his heart, Louis knew everything was just what? Was just what? Fine. Wow.
Okay, this so short.
I don't know. Oh God, I cannot reach your lightsaber from here without piercing my thumb. It might need a new battery. If it turned off, that's the only thing I can guess. Well, we'll find out. Wow, everything is fine. I'm still here, you're still reading, and it is a pretty good story. Messes and all. So, come on, let's finish this. This is Louis' story. I love it, and nothing is going to stop me. The end. So, what? Shall we read next?
Go on the top.
Go on in the top. The boy who cried, Ninja! Well then, right now it's Latin. Oh, look at those unicorns instead. Once there was a boy named Tim who no one believed. When his mom asked him what happened to the last slice of cake, he told her the truth. He was a ninja, cried Tim. First the ninja crept into the house. Then he kicked it into the air. That was really a punch that I just did. And ate it in one bite. When his dad asked him where the hammer was, he told him the truth. An astronaut landed in the yard and needed it to fix his spaceship. He's got your hammer. And when Grandpa asked him if he'd done his homework, Tim told him the truth. A giant squid ate my whole bag while I was off buying an ice cream. And he's like eating his lunch bag with like mashed potatoes and carrots and mushy peas. He has like all these legs. Arms, I don't know. Tim's parents were very upset with him for telling lies. That's helpful. I'm sorry. So they told him to go and rake up the leaves in the yard and think about what he'd done. But the more he thought about it, the more he thought that maybe he really should lie. Then no one would be mad at him. I don't know why that would make sense. So the next time, a pirate jumped out of the cupboard and drank all the tea straight from the pot with a straw, which is also so important.
He's drinking it with his ear.
Ugh. He owned up. He said he did it. And the next time a sunburned crocodile landed on the roof, squawk, and accidentally broke the TV antenna, he confessed. And the next time a time-traveling monkey appeared on the top of the TV and started throwing pencils at Grandpa while he was sleeping. Ow! Tim said it was his fault. But none of that helped. Tim's parents told him to go and water the vegetable garden and think about all the bad things he'd done. If he told the truth, he was in trouble. And if he lied, he was in trouble. What could he do? Then he had an idea. What was his idea?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out. He found some paper and some stamps, and he wrote 6 letters. Dear you, there is a party at my house tomorrow. There will be plenty of cake, hammers, my new book bag, buckets of tea, TV antennas, and pencils. Please come. Signed me. Hey.
What?
Hey.
What? What was in hey?
The next day was a Saturday. Dad was fixing the house, Grandpa was reading the newspaper, and Mom was vacuuming. Then the doorbell rang. Who could it be? Asked Grandpa. I'll get it, said Tim. Bing bong. I should have done that part before. There, at the door, stood a line of strange creatures. First a ninja, then an astronaut, a giant squid, a pirate, a crocodile, recently recovered from sunburn, actually, and a time-traveling monkey. How does a time-traveling monkey get a letter in the post? I'd really like to know. Tim's parents could see that he'd been trying to tell the truth from the very beginning. They said sorry and promised to buy him 100 ice creams. As for the rest of them, Tim's parents were very upset. Go and rake all the leaves in the yard and think about what you've done, said his dad. Sorry. They really are raking the leaves like they're supposed to think about what they've done. And when they had cleaned the whole yard, there really was a party. And no one ate all the cake. No one took anything without asking. No one swallowed a book bag. No one drank all the tea. No one broke the antenna. And no one threw pencils. It was the best party Tim had ever had. The end. So, I have an itch. I really...
Let's read the one.
Yeah?
Let's read that one.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Hey, story time starts tomorrow.
In the morning.
Oh, yes. Would you like to go to both story times?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's plan on that. Pretend by Jennifer Pleases. Don't know. Pretend. Oh God, I can't again. I'm sorry. Pretend, Jimmy said to his dad, that this couch is a big boat and that we're floating in the ocean. And pretend that there are sharks swimming all around us. So we throw this this rock into the water and it scares them away. But now we're tired and starving and we don't know if we'll survive. Now you go, Jimmy said to Dad. Say, oh no, what are we going to do? Dad looked at Jimmy. Go ahead, Jimmy said. Oh, no, Dad said. What are we going to do? I've got it, said Jimmy. I have these fishing lines. They can save us. That's clearly the dog's collar, but it's fishing line because he's very creative. Jimmy and his dad cast their fishing lines into the water. Any bites? Dad asked. I think so, Jimmy cried. It's not too big, but it will do. I think I feel something too, Dad said. Whoa, Jimmy said. You got a big one. I did, said Dad, smiling. Now let's cook them, Jimmy said. I'll start a little fire right here. Jimmy and his dad cooked their catch over the fire. Try yours, Jimmy said. See if it's ready. Not bad, Dad said. Jimmy took a bite of his. Mmm, he said, it's just right. Jimmy rubbed his belly and licked his lips. Not sure who's talking. Oh. That was one good meal, he said. Now, let's search for land. We can't survive on this boat forever. No standing on the couch, said Dad. We're on a boat, Jimmy said. Dad gave him a look. Jimmy squatted. Okay, how about we get our binoculars out? Dad searched his pockets. Right here, Jimmy said. Your binoculars. Oh, said Dad. Here they are. What are their binoculars? What are their binoculars made out of?
Hands.
Hands? How did you even know that without looking?
Because I didn't. Because I saw.
Oh. See anything yet? Jimmy asked. Is there something over there? Dad asked. Jimmy squinted into the distance. Yes, Jimmy said. I think I see it too. An island. Paddle, paddle fast. Jimmy and his dad paddled until they were out of breath. I think we made it, Dad said. I'll secure the boat for our landing, Jimmy said. Dad hopped out after him. Ow! Oh, crap. Ouch, said Dad. I think I stepped on a crab. Ouch, cried Jimmy. Me too! But don't stop. We've got to make it to shore. Help! Grab my hand. Jimmy flopped to the ground, panting. We made it, Jimmy said. Thanks for saving my life. Anytime, Dad said. Jimmy looked up. You know, there are wild beasts that roam the bottom of this island, he said. They eat people at night. The top is where we'll be safe. Let's climb to the top to make our fort. Wow, Jimmy really does have an overactive imagination, maybe? Yeah. Jimmy started to climb. I'll go first, he said. I don't know if I can make it, Dad said. Don't worry, Jimmy called. I'll help you. Jimmy and his dad rested at the top of the mountain. We can see everything from up here, Jimmy said, looking through his binoculars again. Now we need to make our fort. We can use these huge leaves, Jimmy said. We can put them on the top of these tree stumps. It will protect us if it rains. What's the tree stump? What are the leaves in the tree stumps made out of?
Leaves.
What are they really made out of?
Blankets.
Blankets and chairs. Together, Jimmy and his dad made a fort. Almost read that wrong. Too tired for this right now. A fort. They made a fort. It's good, Jimmy said. Now we can go inside. Come on. Jimmy and his dad crawled inside. Inside, the fort was nice and cool. I think it might be time for a rest, Dad said, stretching out as best he could. I have an idea. Why don't we pretend that we're two explorers taking a rest in their fort after a long day of exploring? Let's pretend that the stars are coming out and we're building a campfire, Jimmy said, and then we can look up at the stars and say, this is the best time ever. Well, said Dad. Well, said Dad, I don't have to pretend that part. It is the best time ever. Jimmy got to work quickly. He started the fire. It was nice and warm. You're a pretty good pretender, Dad, Jimmy said. So are you, said Dad. And you're pretty good for real. Jimmy smiled. You too, Dad, he said. You're the best, for pretend and for real. And the dog gets what? Like no compliments? Oh, your lightsaber must be dead. Oh, I don't remember what batteries those were.
These are Oku batteries.
Yeah, I don't think Oku batteries are a thing, but I mean, we can certainly look to see if they are. Okay, let's get you a little more. I'm excited to go to the library in the morning with you. Do you know why? Because I love you so much. Good night, Aiden. Oh, sleepy boy. That just doesn't seem complete as it should be for your neck. So what if we know maybe we should put you back up a little more? No, I know what it is. Down. Oh God, sorry. This is probably pretty awkward. There we go. That's this. Bought ticket, whatever, I didn't care. Mr. I sleep half off the bed like my mum. Oh, I love you, and I'll come check on you in a little bit, sleeping